Designers, come with me. Let me quickly show you how you can animate your loader in Figma. I had issues doing this when I started as a designer, but I don't want to go through that stress. I'm going to quickly show you how you can achieve this now. So the first thing you will do is to create a frame. I'm going to pick a frame here. I'll just drop it, just click and you have this frame. Is 100 by 100, so I'll link it up and make it 200 so that I can see what I'm doing clearly, and so that you can see what I'm doing clearly too. Then I'll go and pick an ellipse, this ellipse shape here. I'll drop it inside this frame. I'll bring it to the middle. Okay, you will see as it snapped into the middle, and I'm going to link it up and make it 150 by 150. So I have it, and I'm going to centralize it. I'll align in horizontal center and I'll align vertical center. So I have it well proportioned inside this frame 1. So I have this frame 1, and inside this frame 1 I have this ellipse 1. The next thing I'll do is I want to cut this frame, this ellipse. I want to cut it into half. So I'm going to use this small circle called arc. I'll drag it and I'll come till I get to 50%. So the sweep is 50%, and the next thing is I'm going to use this middle small circle and I'm going to drag in. As I'm dragging it, you see it like so, and I want to put it at 80%. Currently it is 82.84, but I want to put it to 80. So I have it like this. You discover that this edge is sharp, so I want to make it curve by using the corner radius. This is corner radius. I'm going to put it at 50% so that this edge can be sort of curved and not sharp the way it was before. The next thing I want to do is this ellipse 1 here that is inside frame 1. I want to duplicate it. How to do that is to press Ctrl D on my keyboard. So I'm just going to click Ctrl D, and you will observe that I have ellipse 1 and ellipse 2. Ellipse 1 is below ellipse 2. Alright, ellipse 2 is above ellipse 1, but both of them, they are inside frame 1. You cannot see it except I do something now. So this one that is on top of ellipse 1, I'm going to give it, from this fill area here, I'm going to give it blue color. Alright, so I have it as blue. But then this ellipse 1 that is below ellipse 2, I'm going to come to this little circle at the edge of this ellipse. I'm going to drag it out. I'm going to drag it out till I get to this place, and I'll leave it. So I have this shape here. So but then this frame 1 is filled with this white color. I want to remove it. Okay, this ellipse, this frame 1 has this white color. I want to remove it. How do I do that? I come to fill here and I switch off that color, and I have this frame 1. I'll put this ellipse 2 to 40 degrees. Okay, I'll come here where you have rotation. I'll put it at 45 degrees. Please, I beg your pardon, 45 degrees. I'll click enter. So I have this. Then I'll duplicate this frame 1, holding down the hotkey on my keyboard and dragging out. I will duplicate this, and I'll click on this ellipse 2. I'll come to this rotation. I'll put minus, okay, 45 degrees minus 90. So I have this rotated like so. So the next thing I want to do, let me shift this to this side, is that this frame 2, I'm going to duplicate that frame 2 holding down the Alt key on my keyboard and drag out. I'll click on this ellipse 2 inside frame 3 and I'll say minus 45 degrees minus 90. Okay, and I have that already. Next thing I want to do, I'll come to frame 3. I will duplicate frame 3. I'll hold down Alt key on my keyboard and drag out, and I have this frame 4. Inside frame 4, I'll click on ellipse 2. Then I'll say minus 135 degrees minus 90. Okay, minus 90. Then I have this done, 4 of them, frame 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to turn them into a component now. How do I do that? I'll highlight all the 4 frames and I'll come here. You see create components. I'll click on this and this drop down. I'll say the last one here, create component set. Once I create component set, you can see it. I've created a component, so I'm going to rename this component. I'm going to name it loader. Alright, so I have this loader here. The next thing I want to do is to link the 4 loaders together. Okay, I'm going to link them together. I'm going to use the frame to link them. I'm not clicking on what is inside this frame, but there, this frame 1, frame 2, 3, 4, that is what I'm going to link. So I'll click on frame 1, I'll go to prototype. Okay, then you will see this little circle with plus showing that you are ready to add an interaction to that particular thing. I'm going to drag it out and link it to this frame 2. Okay, and I have this interaction details pop up. I'm going to go to on tab here. I'll click on it and go to after delay. After delay for how many seconds? 1 milliseconds. Okay, 1 millisecond, and I'm going to animate. I click on smart animate and I go to linear and put 300 milliseconds. So I'm going to click out of this. I'll click on the second one. I'll drag from this second to the third frame, and I'm going to say after delay for 1 millisecond. Okay, and I have in this interaction already set. So I click on the third one. I'll link it up to the fourth one, and I'll go to after delay and I'll put it to 1 millisecond. Okay, and this last, I'll click on it. I'll link it back to the first frame, as you can see. Then I'll say after delay for 1 second, 1 millisecond rather. Then I have that and I'm done. Okay, I've linked all the 4 frames. The next thing I want to do is to go to assets to see your loader. Okay, because it's now a component, you go to assets. By the time you go to assets, you can see this is our loader. So I'll just bring it out here. So this loader is an instance of this component. This is a model component, but this one is an instance of this one. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to pick a frame. Okay, let me say I pick iPhone 14. This is iPhone 14. So I'm going to pick this and I'll put it inside this my iPhone 14. I'll make sure I align well, and the next thing is to present this. I'll go to prototype and I'll say show with iPhone 14. So I'll just click on this and I'll present it just to see if what we did is working. So we just wait for the present slide to come up and see what we've done. Okay, so as you can see that our loader is fully animated, and that is how you can achieve that.